I read somewhere that you never got paid for Northern Dream, or you don't receive royalties on Northern Dream.
It's a very difficult subject because the album virtually cost nothing to record. The only costs in the manufacture originally was for I think 250 copies. It was going to be a limited edition, 250 copy pressing. There was a local record store and a lady who ran the record store. And this lady I knew because I bought imported American novels. I bought Moby Grape and Faithful Dead and whatever, Spirit and so on. Things that at that time weren't released domestically in English. And so I was a good customer and she knew when we talk, she found out I was a musician and so on. And I said I had a friend who had a studio, which wasn't a studio, it was a bedroom with a 2-track tape recorder. And I had some songs and I fancied making a record myself, but I didn't have the knowledge to manufacture it or the knowledge how to do that. And she had contacts in the music record business, or the record business. And she said, we'd pay for the manufacture, we'd sell out the shop if we can have the rights to do it. And I said, yeah, okay. So the deal was basically a verbal one, and it was based on the fact that it was a 250 copy of limited edition. And so we recorded the record and she sent away and had it made into vinyl. And a friend of mine took some photographs of the sleeve and I drew the front cover and designed the layout. And the local newspaper printing office printed it up for us. We had 250 copies that I remember it was all the time. And I invented a name for the record, Little Smile Records. And she sold it in the shop. And I was, at the time, I had a day job. What happened was a DJ called John Peel, who's been there for many years and who's been responsible for nearly everybody who's anybody in rock music since the 60s. He's given them a platform in the early stages of their career. And he really liked it. He got hold of a record, I don't know how, but he got hold of a record, the Northern Dream record. And he played it in its entirety, which back-to-back interruptions, and raved about it. I mean, this is just some lead acoustic guitar, a couple of mates. Basic stuff. And as a result of that, EMI Records got interested. And as a result of that, Be Bop Deluxe signed. By this time, I started Be Bop Deluxe. So when Be Bop Deluxe started to happen, the first time we came to America, we were taken into around here on the strip. And I was shocked to see copies of Northern Dream in the racks, and I thought, I didn't know anything about that. How did this get here? And I mentioned it to the lady when I went back home. But I saw them. Oh yes, yeah. Somebody said they wanted to take some of us, so we gave them some. And it turned out she'd already long ago sold the initial 250 copies and continued to manufacture. So I sort of shrugged my shoulders and left it at that. Then after a while, the manager said, "Do you ever get any money for that?" I said, "No." "Do you ever get any publishing of it?" "No." "Okay, well we'll have a word with her." So there was a call made or a letter written to her. And the next thing that happened was she called me up, screaming down the phone, "Is this how you treat me after all I've done to you?" I thought, hang on, your initial outlay was £300 for the manufacturing of what was agreed, 250 only copies. But she made such a horrible screaming fuss about it all that I just dropped the whole thing. And then even a little bit later, my second manager also tried to do something that's got the same sort of style. So it's gone on for a while. Anyway, it's just been released on CD, and I can't say too much about it because I'm not supposed to know about it. But the guy who's done it on CD, it was an under-the-counter thing from somebody else. He got hold of the tape, paid money for his tape, and he's exploiting it sort of without my knowledge technically. But hopefully, I may see something.
It's a great record.
Well, that's an old one.
It's in mono.
Yeah.
Was it sound on sound? Did you record it?
Yeah, it was all done bouncing from one channel to another channel.
Just on a two-track?
Yeah. Mixing as you, balancing as you went, and no final mix stage.
You've gone from that to your own 16-track.
Yeah.
What did you record Be Bop Deluxe on?
Be Bop was done properly, and we recorded all over the place, Abbey Road, and I had studios in London. The very last album we took the Rolling Stones mobile truck down to the south of France, and we hired a beautiful chateau, a very big villa in Chouan-Lapin, which is sort of near Nice and Antibes and Cannes, that area, and we basically set our equipment up in this, what was a ballroom in the chateau. Ran cables out to the truck and a two-way television, and did all the basic tracks there. Then took them back to England after, I think we spent 6 or 7, 8 weeks in the south of France. Desperately trying to work, trying to avoid the beach. And then did the overdubs in England and finished it off, mixed it there. So yeah, Be Bop had serious recording problems. Really, particularly the last album. The golden days when record companies gave you carte blanche to indulge yourself ridiculously. Yeah.
Do you prefer working with a band over working solo, or do you like the balance?
I'm looking now more towards sort of working with other musicians again in a band. I've done things with other musicians over the last few years in collaboration on various projects. I mean, people like David Silver, so I'm how about it, and with the Chan Linebacker project, which is fine. But that's not the same as having your own band, where you still can call the ultimate shots if it comes down to it, but you're getting input on your own material from other people, which is something I think at the moment I really want to try and explore more. I went through a long period of working alone, more out of necessity than choice sometimes. But it can be frustrating, and you can back yourself into all kinds of corners. And I think just that extra bit of input and help is very valuable. So I'm hoping in the future to do a bit more collaboration on more band-oriented projects.
Did you ever see